Hi guys, Alice here from Fizzy Apothecary. This is actually going to be kind of a tutorial for anybody who has a pneumatic press. This is controlled by or powered by an air compressor. And I know a lot of people, when they first get it, they have some trouble getting their bath bombs to stick together. So I wanted to show you, use water. Don't use witch hazel or alcohol. I know some people have used those in their bath bombs. Use water, it helps. As long as you're using a mixer instead, it helps it to set up firmly enough to get pressed in the press and not fall apart. So it also depends on your humidity. I suggest you use a spray bottle and start with only 1 or 2 squirts at once. I know my humidity is, what, 68 right now? So I'm gonna start with 4, which is less than I usually do. But I know since my humidity is so high, it may be an issue getting it. If it's too wet, it's gonna stick in the bath or in the press. And if it's too dry, it's gonna crack in the press. So you want to make sure that you're completely mixed. So you want to mix the bottom as well. And if you're familiar with making bath bombs by hand already, then you know to kind of squeeze it and test it. This might hold. And sometimes you want to let it sit for a second too if it's really close and you're not comfortable with adding any more liquid to it. So I'll show you what happens. I think it's a little too dry, but I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm going to scoop it in my mold. And if you have the B-3 bomber and you have these molds, you don't want to go any higher than this little line that you see, but you can go a little bit lower. So I'm going to have Renee press it. Oh, did it hold? No, it didn't. So that's what happens. It's still a little dry. So I'm going to give it 1 more spritz. So if it's close, if you saw it didn't crack on the top and it still mostly held together when she dumped it in, then that means it's really close. So I'm just going to do 1 more. So when it starts kind of clumping up with little tiny clumps on its own, and you can feel it, a lot of this I do by feel, then that means it's basically ready. It's still falling apart a little bit when I squeeze it, but it still might work in the press, so we'll give it another try. That one hold? Nope. But it feels really close to me, so I'm just gonna keep mixing it with my hand a little bit and kind of feeling it. I'm gonna zoom you guys in too, see if it auto focuses for me, so that you can see the texture of it. So it's got the texture of kind of like shaved ice. And I think it might be ready to try again. Maybe. Yeah, so there you go. So really just take your time, play around with it. If you have a mixture with a lot of oils, you might want to tone down the oils a little bit. If it's too oily, it's going to be too heavy and it's going to want to stick to the mold. You can still put all of your oils in there, you just want to put less. And focus more on having the water be what holds it together at the end, because as it reacts with the bath bomb, it's what helps make it rock hard. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, make sure to message me. I've been using this for 2 years, so I should be able to help troubleshoot. Bye.